Jodi here, and the mailman has been working overtime in my neighborhood lately between delivering holiday gifts and all sorts of goodies. Just received something in the mail today from my friends at Donna Downey Studios, and let's just see what's inside. So I already kind of cut the bottom, and I can feel, just to make it easier so I'm not struggling on camera here, and I see some art supplies. Let's see what we have here. We have some beautiful stamps. It looks like some flowers here. It's called the Loop Bloom flowers, which is very pretty. And oh, some luggage tags. Those can always come in handy. And let's see. Oh, a little fun little Stabilo Woody pencil. I have one of these somewhere. I haven't even used it ever yet. So this would be good to play with. And some paint, and I love this color. What is it? Late ultramarine blue by Goldens. That's a beautiful color. And oh, this must have fallen out of the bag there. We got a little collage fodder. Looks like awesome inspirational words. And when I was pre-opening it, it looks like I have a little challenge here. So this reminds me of, let's see, what do I need to do? Alright, well, it looks like I need to use these in a project, and it's kind of like Chop for Artists is what I'm gathering. So what I'm going to do is think really hard, and hopefully my brain can handle this project and come up with something cool for you guys to do. I'm going to go clear off my table, think about this for a little bit, and I will be back shortly with something ultra cool, ultramarine blue. And we'll be having fun in our art studios in just a moment. Alright guys, so I thought about it for a little bit and I gathered a few more things. So let's just talk about what else I have on my table here for us to play with. So we have the original 5 things. We have the paint, the ultramarine blue, the luggage tags, the woody, some collage material, and the stamp. And in addition to that, I painted 4, I can't even count. 3 4x12s. They're wood blocks, and I happen to love lately painting in multiples, so I thought maybe this might be a good project to do that. And let's see what else here. I gathered, of course, and I painted, just an FYI, I painted them with, primed them with, can't see it, it's a Goldens black gesso. And the color ultramarine blue inspired me to gather a few colors that I think would go good with this palette. So I have titanium white, Titan buff. I have some green gold, some carbon black, some Quin gold, which you should always have this in your art supply toolbox. Some Payne's gray. Not sure if I'm going to use that or not, but I just gathered it anyways. And I know you can make gray, but I happen to kind of like this gray. It's very opaque, and it's just the right color gray, so I think these colors are going to look good together. And because I have a stamp, it kind of inspired me to bring out something I have not used in a long time, and we'll just see how it rocks and rolls. This says ultra thick embossing enamel, so I guess I'm going to emboss this. So you'll need a heat tool as well. And then this one says, I guess this is the embossing, well, not really powder, but it's the stuff to put on the stamp. I haven't done this in so long, but it says it's going to bring out the artist in me. Thank goodness, because my brain is fried lately. And we're going to do something, I'm thinking like some texture, and I might do these with like different colors. So I'm going to make a triptych. Oh, I also grabbed some gold too. Sorry about that. So I'm going to make a triptych with this color palette. So I'm just going to talk to you about my thought process before I get rolling here, and then we'll do a little bit of a speed play. So when I do a triptych, I usually try to make my paintings either, so they'll go together. So I want them different enough so they can look good together, but I want them to, strong enough so they can stand on their own. So a client could choose, or myself, to, just buy one, or they could buy more. It encourages multiple sales, number one, but they also look nice on the wall, like when they're featured together. And in order to do that, I'm going to use the same color palette, but in different degrees of, so I might use more green in one and more of this color in one, so kind of get that thought. And just going to do something easy, not too complicated, because I want this project to be done in, a short amount of time. And I want to take like 4 years, kind of take the fun out of it. If it takes too long to do, especially when it's the busy holidays times, you just want a quick and easy project just to get started, get your juices flowing. And I'll use some paint brushes. I might even use a brayer or two, so you'll see that. And let's just get started and have fun and see what happens. So we'll see you back here in just a moment. All right, everybody, welcome back. So I was thinking I was going to use these luggage tags in some sort of collage element, but I'm also thinking that the color that they are right now might be a little bit too stark. So I brought out this walnut ink. It's a little package I bought many eons ago, and looks like I'm going to start with this terracotta. So I'm just going to spray these and maybe add a little bit of water and stain them, because they're going to need to dry before I add them onto the paintings. So we'll do that first, let them dry, and then we'll move on to our painting. So sit back, relax, and watch this, and we'll be back shortly. So what I went ahead and did is to put up all the colors on my palette, and not exactly sure what colors I'm going to use first, but I know I'm going to do a base coat. So that's my next step. So I'm going to use probably white in the Titan Buff to get started, and then I might mix in some of the other colors. So watch me do that, and I'll be back shortly. Alright guys, so I think the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of collage elements on here. Not a ton, and I am in the beginning stages of my background, so some of this may get covered up, but I just wanted to let you know that I kind of aware of that. And I just like, sometimes I just like to have a little bit of paper and background material in my paintings, and I don't mind that it gets covered up. Just sometimes it's just the hint of something being there is enough for me. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then my next step, just so you're aware of what my plan is to do some embossing onto this surface. I'm going to do it before I have a whole lot of paint, because I'm afraid that if I have the heat gun onto my embossing, it may bubble out the paint. So I'm just going to have a very light background. And so for those of you who haven't embossed before, basically you need to have your stamp, you need to have your embossing fluid, And so you'll put your fluid on your stamp just like as if you were stamping, and then you would stamp it into your surface. And then you add, where is it? Okay. And you add your embossing powder. So this is the ultra thick embossing powder, and then you heat it up with a heat tool. So those are the next couple steps I'll be doing, and we'll be back shortly to keep on rolling with this 3-piece set.